Hey, yo, what up, Bodega Podcast? You already know who it is. It's one half of the sexiest Puerto Rican studs on this planet, Ortiz, baby. And shout out to all the Bodega Podcast listeners. Ow!
This is Agatha Carter, and you're watching the Urban Wrestling Network.
Yo, this is the Lucha Thug, the one-man Lucha gang, El Rey Gordo himself, the King Fat Boy Papo Esco, and y'all rocking with the Urban Wrestling Network.
This is Shane Taylor, CEO of Shane Taylor Promotions, and you are listening to the Urban Wrestling Network.
Hey, you guys, this is Christi Jaynes, and you're listening to the Urban Wrestling Network.
What's really hood, ladies and gentlemen? It's the OG Boricua Dandara, a.k.a. the Coquito Papi. Y'all see who I have across from me is BBTV. We're pumping out shows like crazy. Unlike me, he's wearing the same shirt. I at least switched it up to make it look like we're doing multiple days. Listen, AEW, Impact Wrestling. I know we have Swan Omega. I know there's a bunch of shit going on with Cody getting his own TV show. Hold up. Pump your brakes, baby. Let me talk real quick. I think this is brewing up, and the storm is coming. The storm is coming, and I'm not talking about James Storm to AEW, which I just did a show on. You can look that up. But I think we're going to brew into AEW versus Impact Wrestling, and I think the heads are going to collide.
Before we do, I just want to throw a quick, thing. Congrats to Tay Conti on successfully defeating Nyla Rose this week on AEW Dynamite. Congrats on doing that. And for Impact, Violent by Design's promo this week was really good. I didn't know what the hell was happening with the asylum and stuff. It was nuts, baptizing in water and poison and it was nuts. You guys got to check it out. That was pretty cool.
Okay, so back to what I want to talk about. A real war, not Omega going over there, not the Good Brothers. I'm talking about Impact invading, having a bunch of guys and girls go over, AEW coming back, smashing them out once in a while, and then we get a joint pay-per-view where it's going to be all of AEW versus all of Impact Wrestling. Impact's top people, I don't know who the hell they are, versus AEW Stacked Squad.
I think Impact's top people have to be Rich Swann, Moose, who are their tag champs right now? Oh no, never mind. They're in New Japan.
No, Finn Juice is holding the belts in New Japan.
I guess the Good Brothers.
Finn Juice did say they want to defend them over there as well.
That's true, but they won't be back till April, and that'll be at Rebellion.
Well, you don't need all the belts. You don't need the belts to make this official.
Well, no, you don't, but you want, the champions to take on the champions, you want that type of thing.
Yeah, but you still got the Good Brothers that are there that have been going back and forth.
But they're going to go wherever Kenny Omega goes, so that's not really they don't necessarily have loyalty.
Because if that's the case, if you're going to say, all right, Group A of this war, and I'm not saying it's going to be like a bracket, but if you do, and you have Kenny Omega and the Good Brothers, I easily throw Violent by Design against them. I'll take Eric Young versus Kenny Omega any day of the week, and I will throw, what is it, Jake something I think his name is? Or no, it's Dina, right? No,
I right now they have Rhino, so I'd say Eric Young, Rhino, and Joe Doering should be there with the Cody Deaner at ringside for that.
But that's what I'm saying. So you have those kind of groups. There's the women. I'll tell you now. You can
AEW's losing.
How?
How do you mean? You got Tasha Steelz, Kiara Hogan. You've got. I'm not a big fan of Deanna Purrazzo, but you even got her. You got something. Susan.
Well, yeah, but you bring out the bad side for this. You bring Susan in it. And then you even, Rosemary's limited. I don't care what anyone says. Get emotional, get upset. Ever since her injury, mad years ago, and I like to keep throwing that out there, mad years ago, she never looked the same. And I'm not talking weight. Don't even say, oh, he's trying to say weight. Not at all. Her in-ring has not looked half as good before the injury. And I don't want to hear, oh, but she got hurt. That was mad years ago. Your body heals up, and if her body never did, then maybe she needs to be super limited to how they've been doing her. But if you do it that way, and you got Su Yung, Rosemary, Deonna Purrazzo, and what are they, Fire and Flavor or something like that, I think they're called, versus Thunder Rosa, Diamante,
Ivelisse,
Ivelisse,
Sheeta.
Ty Conti.
I think Britt Baker should be in there.
Okay, Britt Baker. Or if Anna Jay's healthy. AEW's women's roster trumps Impact Wrestling's roster. That roster AEW got is no longer a joke. That women's roster.
Well, I've been said that.
So you made it sound like Impact Wrestling's women's roster runs through them. And I say it's the complete opposite.
I think it'll be equal contested, but I feel that you definitely going to have probably Purrazzo and whoever the champ is at that time go at it.
You have Purrazzo versus, like you said, whoever the champion, and you have everyone else. But as a war, what do you want to see in a war? How would you play it out if you was going to say, I'm going to have these two companies go to war?
I think. Do you remember? It was an episode of Impact. I think it either kicked it off or ended it, where you're seeing just everyone was fighting everywhere. And yeah. Like Sting was. I want something like that. That's how you kick off a show. You see people come in. It's on site. Why are you in my company? The beef has to be real. There is no talking. It is just on site.
See, that's, and I'm glad you said it like that, because if say you got people fighting in the ring, and then AEW guys come out and they try to jump people, and then the Impact people come out.
You know, the thing is, Daly's place is big enough to have people fighting, because remember, Daly's place is right outside, right next to it. It connects to the Jacksonville Jaguar Stadium, TIAA.
So Impact would be invading them.
Yeah, I feel like they have to, because you can't, no offense to Impact fans and Impact Wrestling, you have such a small venue. What are you gonna? I mean, yeah, you guys will be fighting inside the building, cool. But I think to make it realistic, I want to see people fighting in the bar at TIAA Bank. I want to see them fight onto the football field that goes into Daly's place. I want to see something like that, because you have such a big enough venue. You can do something like that. You can have people. Can you make a one-winged angel the hell out of Sammy Guevara from one of the top of the stands all the way through a table on the floor? You can do that again. Now, I mean, obviously not that. You can do things like that to make it like you can make this really something special by just having that all-out warfare, like an invasion once every now and again.
You know what? I'm glad you said that. And I'm going to lower this, and I'm going to talk to my people real quick. Let me lower that a little something, get a little intimate with my people out there. I'm glad you explained it the way you did, because it triggered something. And you're too young to understand the movie The Warriors. Did you ever watch The Warriors?
No, but I know that video game.
Okay. Well, yeah. So I would love to have somebody, and I don't care if it's Eddie Edwards, grab a microphone and go, AEW, come out to play. And he's banging the bottles. That would be, and don't hate, because it's such an iconic scene. And then all of a sudden the camera moves around. You got Impact Wrestling stars all over the place beating up, AEW guys. I think that would be fucking fire.
And the one thing is that AEW has to lose on their home turf. You have to, and the reason why is you give Impact that credibility by losing that battle. Have someone carry an Impact Wrestling flag to the ring, whatever the case may be, stake it right in the middle of the ring. You can do something like that.
Well, I don't know. Puncturing a hole in a ring isn't a good idea, Mr. Freaking, I'm going to start my own wrestling company and ruin my first ring. No,
well,
AEW
has the money, though. AEW has the money for that's fine.
Yeah, so listen, rich people don't like to get rid of their money. Tony Khan don't want to just puncture. Well, if it looks fire, I guess you do it, or you could do it at the 50-yard line, whatever.
That or what you can do is, if it is on the field, you can have, how the Inner Circle had the Tron?
Yeah.
When they beat up Kenny Omega, it's an Inner Circle in the background. You can have that, or you can spray paint TIAA Bank and just put Impact Wrestling over it, the whole field.
Woo! I dig it. You know what? It's funny because I'm super critical when it comes to things, and I think that all the Impact fans right now are going to become BBTV fans, because right now they're like, we got hope. This guy is kicking some truth. They're like, fuck that chef guy. We don't like him. But BBTV, he knows what's up. You know what I mean? Like, I think that is an incredible idea. Obviously, Endgame, AEW has to go over. Let's just
No. The
get
reason
the
why
fuck outta here.
no. The reason why I said it though is because you want to build Impact. I feel like if Impact beats AEW, and the reason why is that remember, a war, there's multiple battles.
Yeah, no. I'm saying the end battle has to go to AEW.
Yes. I thought
Okay,
about I thought about this and be like a whole big thing, one match. That's it. No, you can't have. You have
You
to have
win the battle, we win the war.
Yeah, and the funny thing is, I feel that you have to keep this for a year or more. The reason why I say that is
That's
because
a long time.
no, but when you think about it though, what war was ever finished in a year? Realistically,
Well, there's been wars that finish shorter times.
I mean like actual massive ones. This is supposed to be two big companies in America going at it. World War I and II were not won in a year. That was like 4 or 5. You have to put it on that type of magnitude. This is going to change the landscape of professional wrestling. That's what a war has to be. It has to change the landscape forever. That's what you have to build it and promote it to be. And having it for 6 months, 7 months doesn't do that thing. Oh, great. Yeah, our champion's got a couple people fought. You got to keep having. Hey, maybe titles have to change hands. Maybe an Impact guy's got to hold some type of belt in AEW. Maybe an AEW guy's got to hold the Impact belt. Maybe you can even throw in New Japan occasionally. There's so many ways you can. There's so many ways you can do it. Hell, if Ring of Honor wants to throw their people in there, let Ring of Honor throw their people in there. The whole point is this war is supposed to put everyone on a different level and on a different platform. Yes, there's going to be a winner and a loser, but guess what? At the end of the day, as long as both companies are elevated to a higher standard, that's the end. That should be the end goal. It's not who's better than who, although kayfabe-wise it's supposed to be. It's about how can we put on the best damn product for the people that are watching, that are loyal to us, and how can we elevate the company to bigger and better heights to keep getting more people, newer people, fresh people, famous people, popular people to constantly want to go into. I say, hey, I want to work for Impact Wrestling. Hey, I want to work for AEW. Hey, I want to work for Ring of Honor or MLW, N.W.A, whatever the case may be. And you can have mini alliances too. Like, hey, AEW, N.W.A, we got a problem with Impact. Impact will be like, hey, New Japan, can you help us out? We got a problem with these guys. Send you guys over. Let's beat them up. And you can have this on multiple shows too, because if all these companies are in there, N.W.A Power, you can see some people getting jumped. You can do things like that. Why? Because it's professional wrestling. Anything can happen. When we have a war and everyone's on the same side of wanting to elevate each other, no one loses.
You know what's crazy? Is that might have been the coolest part of a podcast I've ever been in. Unfortunately, it wasn't what I said. I'm not even going to ruin. Do you have any more you could go off of?
I mean, it's just like I said, it's just got to be done right. And the whole point is that I like the Tony Khan paid ads. No offense, I love them, but they have to stop, because at that point, enough ragging Impact. We know it sucks. You don't have to tell us it sucks. But legitimately, I feel like Tony Khan would actually have to become a figure at that point on camera. Scott D'Amore would have to become a figure for Impact. Whoever they want to send as a representative from New Japan, or Billy Corgan would have to be a player for N.W.A. You have to then let everything be known. You've got to keep it even, though. You can't just have AEW winning all the bigger battles.
You know what, though? If you do that, and Scott D'Amore represents Impact, Tony Khan represents AEW, and Corgan represents N.W.A., ain't nobody can out-talk Salina de la Renta and move the way she does.
And I said, even MLW, who has a partnership with AAA, they said, and Pro Wrestling knows, so you can literally have all these companies and this one big war. And the greatest part is, not every company has to be up each other's asses. No. Let the companies battle it out. If like, make it like an actual war. In war, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. I mean, that's what started World War I. It was only a problem between two countries. And then people wanted to keep throwing their business in it, and that's what happened. That's how you can. It's like a fire, man. Well, once the match is lit, it's uncontrollable.
Absolutely,
and that's what you can do.
The cool thing is, and I'm just gonna say for the roster right now that I see it, if just say, and I love what you said, and we'll end it on that. If you have Daly's Place have all these it could look like the Warriors, and I'll reference that again. You could have Impact on one side, you have N.W.A. come out of some kind of tunnel, you could have MLW come out of one area, AEW is already there. This will look like a gathering of the gangs, and that's what the Warriors beginning of the movie was. It was a gathering of the gangs, and this could start off such a freaking revolution of wrestling. And I was just thinking AEW and Impact, and I love how it's transitioned. And listen, I do this pod to have fun. I don't care if this happens. I just like talking this shit because I'm entertained. And but I'm gonna tell you now, I think the MLW roster, if selected right, trumps a lot of these rosters because I take Jacob Fatu,
The greatest thing,
Hammerstone, the Iranian Super Soldier.
the greatest thing about all that is that every single roster, including Impact Wrestling, has such a key foundational wrestler.
Yes.
And right now, and I personally would like to think right now with Ring of Honor having its own civil war at the moment, because they are.
Yeah.
It's between pure pro wrestling and breaking the rules. That's going to force people to collide, people to join together, like the Foundation, Los Ingobernables, have to take on people like MLW. Now you've got to deal with Los Ingobernables and then Los Promociones, what they're
Dorado, but it's Azteca Underground.
Aztec Underground. So now you've got all these different factions, and then you can play into faction wars. People can actually join together, maybe create their own thing to stand for their company. There's a lot of different creative freedom and things that we've never seen before.
Oh yeah, you could get Contra Unit versus Bullet Club, or Azteca Underground versus Violent by Designs, or Inner Circle.
And you can even sit there and actually finally have a Bullet Club fight. The real Bullet Club versus the wannabes, because that's a New Japan versus AEW. No, you can have a match like Okada versus Jay Lethal again, or you can have Calvin Tankman versus
Brian Cage.
You can have these super dream fights happen in the name of just war, but it's really to elevate every single wrestler that's involved. And when you're doing that, promotions like Ring of Honor, N.W.A, New Japan, N.W.A, MLW, Impact, AEW, they all get elevated because now everyone's fans are all like, oh, well, my guy's going against this guy. And now all you're doing is social media becomes this massive fire outlet, because you're going to have the Impact fans talking trash to AEW, the AEW fans talking trash to New Japan fans talking trash to N.W.A, N.W.A talking trash to Ring of Honor talking trash to MLW talking trash to everybody. And it works, because now all of a sudden everyone's eyes are on each other's companies, because now, wait a minute, my guy's going against your guy. I want to see what your guy's all about. Oh, well, my world champ's better than your world champ. Let's see. Let's make it happen on Thursday or Wednesday or Friday or Saturday, whatever the hell it could be. So you've got all this stuff. Social media becomes such a big outlet, because now you're going to be in the craziest things that now you'll be drawing in non-wrestling fans.
Yep.
Because this is a beef apparently, so I want to see what this is about. Now, let's put some real heat here, so let's see what's going on. And at the same time, what you're doing for the wrestlers backstage is that you're lighting a fire under them too. Because now it's like, oh wait, we gotta outperform them, we gotta shine. Because now this is something bigger than us.
Yep.
And I think it's just a great idea.
You know what? You murdered it. I'm not gonna let us ruin it. I won't even say much more. Ladies and gentlemen, that was BVTV absolutely murdering me on my own fucking podcast. It is our podcast, but I'm the host of this bitch, and I just got ate the fuck alive. I admit when I take a fucking L, but listen, it happens every once in a while. The king just got fucking slain. www.urbanwrestlingnetwork.com. For myself, BVTV, and the rest of the crew, we out of here. Deuces.